The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Glory to you, O Lord. When Jesus saw a crowd around him, he gave orders to cross to the other shore. A scribe approached and said to him, "Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go." Jesus answered him, "Foxes have dens and birds of the sky have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to rest his head." Another of his disciples said to him, "Lord, let me go first and bury my father." But Jesus answered him, "Follow me, and let the dead bury their dead." The Gospel of the Lord. Yeah, it's clear when we follow the sequence of Matthew's Gospel. We are now looking at Jesus living out the way that he has just, say, given his followers for their own course of action. He's called them to himself, right? We've spent a few chapters here, the 5th through 7th, listening to Jesus preach the Sermon on the Mount, and he's giving shape and character to his new Israel movement. Yeah, the people are meant to be, or called to be, salt and light. So they're to be God's preserving people, preserving the world from corruption. Can I say like total corruption? I don't know. I don't want to get too hyperbolic, Monday morning. But the people we are called to be in Jesus' new Israel movement, preserving force, a force that gives light and life to the world. And here he is now making his way as the new Israel himself in the flesh, with his people gathered around him. So this command to follow me, as we saw yesterday, is the priority of the new Israel movement. So the people who are called to be Jesus' people, to be God's renewing, restorative force in the world, we have to focus our hearts and our minds on following Jesus. It's our absolute priority, such that in any action as we go about our day, we can ask ourselves, am I following Jesus here? And better than that, right? Because I think sometimes we like to create echo chambers generally, yeah. I'll get if I don't get going on this, I'll get going on something else, But I think we like to create echo chambers for ourselves, but we do it if we can't find someone to do it with. We'll just do it in our own head, right? So better than asking ourselves, am I following Jesus here? Better to ask him, right? Am I following you here, Jesus? Is this what you want me to do here, Jesus? Because there are two parts of this. Two parts of the command to follow Jesus, right? And can I say, of course, when Jesus says, "Let them bury their dead," he's saying nothing at all comes above or before following him. Okay, so he's already cleared the deck. It's all about following him. So one is this, that is like the general scheme. The general scheme is to be God's restorative, re-enlivening, revivifying force in the world, animated by the power of God's own life of love that is in us by virtue of our baptism, that we share in so deeply by eating and drinking of his body and blood, that we are made to be about God's work in the world as he seeks to raise up his fallen world. Okay, that's the scheme. Within that scheme, we say Jesus is at the head of that movement, but he's also my head. So Jesus it is who rules and governs me. It's not simply that, yes, we want to come under his rule, and we want to advance his rule. And his rule is mercy, his rule is love. But also that he rules over me. Okay, and he does it in an immediate way. So he does it in an unmediated way. It's him speaking directly to me, and not even speaking directly to me. Again, his life of love is in me. The Holy Spirit is in me. This is how he rules, both over us and through us. So we have to be then about that work that so characterizes his life, which is the work of prayer and love. Yeah, it's the work of worship and service. But again, he is the one who directs. Yes, so we have to be a praying people. And by praying, I mainly mean entrusting our hearts and lives whole and entire to Jesus. That's what we're trying to do in prayer. We're trying to receive God's love, right? I mean, it sounds crazy, right? We're trying to receive God's love. Well, it is crazy because you're crazy. This is what prayer is about. You're trying to receive God's love. God is love. God is loving you. And we're hardly even making the time to be loved by God. That's how crazy we are. So we're all running on empty. Talk about the fuel crisis. I won't get into that. We're all running on empty, And here he is, he's giving it away for free, and we won't even turn to him. Yeah, but that's it. We come to pray to be filled with his love, and filled to his love to overflowing, so that we can have fuel to take on the challenge of the day. But again, in that unmediated way, he is directing us. Where is that still small voice leading? Right? Are we sensitive to the Holy Spirit? It's hard to be sensitive to the Holy Spirit in a world of noise, which is one of the reasons why we spend dedicated time in prayer, because we need silence so that we can hear the voice, the more silent voice of the Spirit, and become attuned to it in such a way that when we go back into the world of noise, we can still follow Jesus' lead. We can still follow the lead of his Holy Spirit. So we want to be sensitive to the voice of the Holy Spirit. We want to be able to hear and heed the call, no matter where we are led. And we better believe that in big things and small things, Jesus wants to lead us in that unmediated way. So we have to keep praying, and we could keep praying. We need to keep praying as we go about our day, so that, yes, Jesus can not only lead us and guide us, but that he can give us what we need in order to faithfully follow where he's leading.